So I posted an Instagram reel the other day and it was getting some kind of heat, especially in the DMs. People were coming at me, disagreeing and coming with their own points. So I decided to kind of take this as a good opportunity to just make a proper video and explain my situation. You see, the whole point of the Instagram reel was kind of just to talk to you guys and let you understand that you're holding yourself back from achieving what you want because you're too scared of just starting. That's my main point. And to really emphasize this, I want to take you through my own journey because I was the guy that was struggling with this. So when I call people out for it, I actually had another reason to do so. People just hate because they don't really like being called out. But I myself can actually take accountability and tell you my personal story because I can go back like 5+ years where I was working a regular ass job, sales manager, making all right money for my age and whatnot. I was chilling, didn't really have to do anything at work. However, I knew I was holding myself back because there was this inkling I had in my mind, which I really wanted to do, which was to just pursue info and sales on my own venture and as my own business and independent contractor and all this shit, which I always had wanted to do. However, I was too scared of starting. So I just kind of held back for 4+ years. Yeah. And I'm paying for it now. So that's why I'm titling this video and begging you to start so you can avoid the mistakes I did and actually pursue something because you're going to realize it's not as scary as you think it is. Even if you think it's not even scary, you're still holding yourself back. And here's the reason why. You see, I had this in my mind for so long while I was working there. I really wanted to do it and I kind of dabbled into shit, but I knew I was always half-assing it and never really committing. Like I'll be vulnerable. I went through a bunch of shit, had my own apartment, getting kicked out, having to move back to my parents and everything, just like losing money and all of that shit, right? Like getting hacked on my ad accounts and shit and losing almost like what 50K, 100K and whatnot. So I was going through everything, like without getting too detailed in this shit, but you can only imagine, right? So it was only when that happened and when it hit me and when I moved back to my parents' house where I was like, holy shit, I need to do something because if I stay stuck in the position I'm in right now, I'm literally just going to be in the same exact place, same wage, same job, same uh, city, same everything that I was in 4 years ago. And I can't let that happen, right? So essentially, what happened is I had this reality check, but that was 4 years later. And what ended up happening was once I had this reality check, I just started doing. I had no other option but to take action. So what did I do? Well, I just paid a couple $1,000 for an online sales mentorship, got my foot in the door, got connected with the right people, ended up starting as a closer, scaling, running my own info, agencies, etc., etc. Everything went up from there, right? And that's when I realized that once I just started doing something, I had no other option than to continue. I realized that I could have done this 4 years ago and just gotten there way, way sooner, but I was way too scared of starting because I thought it was this crazy thing. What are other people gonna think? What's gonna happen if I don't get any results? I'm gonna waste a bunch of money. All of these things, it's just fucking noise, bro. Because when you realize that when you just do something, like when you actually take the first step, you have some momentum. And once you have that momentum, you just have to keep going, right? And that's really what happened to me. And then I realized, and this is what I want to preference to you, I realized that once I had started, shit was not really as scary as I thought because the momentum was there. I was just doing things I was supposed to do. And I didn't really care what people thought because I couldn't really care. Like I had to make this happen. I had to get my money back. I had to move out of my parents' house again. I didn't have the energy nor time to really care. Because when you start something with high expectations and ambition, you kind of have to do everything you can to make it happen. And here's what I want to preference as well, with which I mentioned in the IG reel also. It's the case of, dude, even if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, what's the worst that can happen? You're literally gonna stay stuck in the same position you're in anyway. So let's say we flip the table and just said, I did exactly what I did, but it didn't end up working and I didn't make more money and I just stayed in my parents' place. Well, what's the worst that happened? Well, I'm just in the same exact position that I was in with more experience. Now knowing how I'm supposed to move differently next time. So you can't really go wrong with just fucking trying and just do it. Because every time in my life when I've done something that I was kind of scared to do, but I did it anyway, was the time that I really grew and I had some sort of result and positive outcome out of it. Even if at the time it didn't really seem that positive, in the end, it always is because there's a lesson to be learned and something you know because you've experienced it. Experience can't really be manufactured. You have to like actually go through it to understand how it works. And once you realize this, it's almost like a superpower because it just gives you the ability to almost look for uncomfortable positions because you know that if this is kind of uncomfortable and you still do it, you're going to come out of it a better person with more experience and probably in a better position anyway. It's like the people that always ask. You probably have a friend that always just asks for so much shit, and you're like, "Holy shit, when are you gonna shut up?" You just tell him no, but he doesn't care because he's heard no 1,000 times, so he just keeps asking. It's like he's immune to the word no, bro. And then you realize he gets a lot of the things that you thought you would never be able to get, or just some random ass question that you ask, "Oh, can I get that?" And you actually get it one time when you think you really never should have. Hope that makes sense, right? So, one of preference is that I want you to understand that you grow not in your comfort zone, but outside your comfort zone, right? It's very common sense, but like I say all the time, common sense is not all that common. And I think you know so as well, because if it was, we would have all been in a way different position as of now, right? So, please don't go through my mistake of waiting 4 years just to try something that I could have done 4 years ago and already been in a way better position. If you're scared, take it as a compliment and take it as a positive opportunity. The reason why, because if you're scared, you can think of it, oh shit, I'm scared, I don't want to do it. Or you can think, holy shit, I'm scared. I know if I do this, I'm going to have a positive outcome. It's usually how it is, right? So take the risk and just fucking try and just fucking do whatever you can to look for uncomfortable positions and do it anyway. Obviously, don't go out there risking your life or anything, but give it a shot. Take the risk. Do shit that you're usually way too scared to do because most of the time you're gonna end up in a better position. Especially if you put your back against the wall where you kind of have no other option than actually winning. And when you put yourself in a position like that, you basically have to win. Otherwise, you're cooked. I tell my clients that all the time. It's like, yo, if you don't make this happen, like if this is all the money you have and you don't make this happen, you're cooked. So you better fucking get your ass to work. Right. And that's when they're like, yeah, that's what I needed here. I'm like, of course, you need accountability. That's why you're on this call, but you still have to take the proper action. This is what accountability looks like, right? And that's when they're like, yeah, you're totally right. And they change their lives just like I did and just like a bunch of guys do, but only the guys that actually take the risk and want to do something that they're uncomfortable doing, but they do it anyway. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it is simple. And if you can really just push through the fear, you'll realize that it's not even that scary and it's not even as bad as you think. So then you just end up doing more of it and you become a better person. People always ask me like, "Yo, why do I always see you progress in so much?" Like not in that way, but like as for instance in the gym, they're like they've been in the same type of physique for like years, and then I meet them like in a 2-month difference and like, holy shit, you made progress. And I'm like, yeah, because I put my body through uncomfortable workouts and uncomfortable positions while you're just doing the same workout you did 2 years ago with the same intensity and same weight. What the fuck do you expect? Same in business, right? It's like, yo, why are you progressing so quickly? And it's like, because I'm not scared to fucking open up the camera, just talk raw for 10 to 20 minutes and have some ums and ahs and some talking mistakes and long pauses and whatnot. It's like, bro, I don't give a shit. The people that care are going to watch, and the people that don't, I don't want them here because they're not my ICP. Why would I want something that can relate to my content? Doesn't make sense, right? So they better leave the video, and the people that actually care should watch because they can actually learn something and they will see the results if they take the action that I give them. So when I tell you to look for uncomfortable positions and situations and still do what you're uncomfortable doing, you will see great results. And now, if you're watching this and you go and do it, you will see it for yourself. Just give it a shot. Just like do it with one thing, whatever it is. Just like find something you're uncomfortable with and then just give it a shot. See how it goes and let me know. Like, dude, shoot me a message on Instagram and let me know how it went for you. Because I'm telling you, it's been life changing for me and it will be for you as well. The only thing you really have to do is just do uncomfortable shit. And the reason why you get ahead is the fact that nobody wants to do it because it's uncomfortable. That's the whole point. If it wasn't uncomfortable, everybody would have been doing it. So this way you can separate yourself from the crowd since you are the guy that actually does the uncomfortable thing while 99% of people feel like it's way too uncomfortable and never do it. It's the same thing with the content shit. Trust me, I've been also fucking thinking about this for such a long time, but it's the word thinking about it. You're just, nobody's sitting there just thinking about shit. Fuck all that. You're scrolling, you're distracting yourself, you're doing all this BS. You're not thinking about shit. You're just talking yourself out of it. That's the only thing you're doing when you say you're thinking about it. So you might as well just fucking do it. And if it doesn't go the way you want it to, well, oh shit, you're in the same position anyway. So what do you have to lose? Nothing. Nothing to lose. Crazy how life works, but that's the reality of it. So there's one thing I want you to do from this video. It's to fucking find something that you're uncomfortable with, find it and do it anyway. And then write down the result you got out of that situation and think to yourself, was it really that bad? And was it really as scary as I thought it would be? Chances are it was. It's the same thing as fucking going up to a girl, cold approaching. Oh shit, dude, cold approaching. Fuck. Every dude is so fucking nervous, so scared whenever they're supposed to cold approach. And then you realize once you do it, and even if you get rejected or even if you get a number, it's like, fuck, it wasn't really that bad, was it? I'll tell you a personal story just to keep this going. A couple whiles back, like my ex-girlfriend, the way I met her was at the gym. And if you know anything about the gym, there's a lot of pretty girls at the gym, but it's not really the best place to necessarily approach something. They're working out, especially they got headphones on and they're focused and they don't want to be bothered. Like, you don't want to be the guy jumping in mid-set, like, yo, what's your number? But here's the thing. There was this girl, right? We've been seeing each other at the gym all the time because we were working out at the same time every single day. But I saw her pretty much for like months. Didn't really care too much, but a couple months in, like she kept looking at me and she kept smiling. So I was like, okay, this chick is smiling. Let me smile back. And then we get a connection. We hold eye contact. And if you have social fucking knowledge, you know that there is something in the air, right? So there was this one time where she was like, the gym was empty. It was like 7 a.m. on a Sunday or some shit. Nobody's at the gym. I'm there. She's there as well. So I'm like, fuck it. Let me just approach her. She goes past me and she like smiles, says hi, I think, but I had my AirPods on, so I couldn't hear, but could tell her by the lips. Here's the thing. She says hi. I didn't even say hi back because couldn't tell if she said it or not. And then I'm like, fuck it. I turn around and I'm just like, yo, started talking to her, like, what's your name? You're cute. Let me get your number, all this shit. Right. And before leading up to that situation, like I'm telling you, this, like, she'd been smiling to me for months. And I could have done this months ago. But then I was just too scared to do it because you could feel the heart was pumping. You were kind of in your mind, oh, what if she says no? What if she has a boyfriend? What if this? What if that? It's like, no, fuck it. At that point, I was like, let me just fucking do it. I did it, turned into a fucking great relationship. And then I realized I'm like, fuck, wasn't really as bad as I thought. And that applies to pretty much anything in life. So there's one thing you can take away from this video. You're holding yourself back from your potential because you're too scared. Take action and just do it because it's not really as scary as you think. Hope this helps. Let me know how it goes. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.